Hello and welcome to Verdictum. I am Ananya Singh and you're watching today's legal news, where we apprise you with the recent important legal developments across the nation. Here are the headlines. Supreme Court to hear on April 11th whether the electoral bond scheme case needs to be referred to a constitution bench. Rarest of rare doctrine requires imposing death sentence only if there is no possibility of reformation, holds Supreme Court. Allahabad High Court gives last opportunity to ASI to clarify whether carbon dating will damage the object in Gyan Vapi Shivling dispute. Daughters do not cease to have right in family property, even if dowry was given at the time of their marriage, holds Bombay High Court. Rajasthan becomes first state in India to pass law for protection of advocates. Now let's take a detailed look on the headlines. The Supreme Court listed the matter challenging the electoral bond scheme on April 11th and will be examining whether the matter needs to be referred to a constitution bench. Electoral bonds were introduced by the Finance Act of 2017 and are to be issued by any scheduled bank for the purpose of electoral funding. The scheme is being challenged in a batch of petitions on the ground that they have opened doors to unlimited, unchecked funding of political parties. The central government, however, in its affidavit stated that electoral bond scheme is most transparent. A bench of the Supreme Court comprising the CJI D.Y. Chandrachud, Justice Hema Kohli and Justice P.S. Narasimha observed that the rarest of rare doctrine requires that the death sentence not to be imposed only by taking into account the grave nature of crime, but only if there is no possibility of reformation in a criminal. The case related with the offence of kidnapping and murder of a 7-year-old child, and the top court commuted the death sentence to life imprisonment for not less than 20 years without remission of sentence. The Allahabad High Court has granted the Archaeological Survey of India the last opportunity to file its response by April 5th and asked him to clarify whether the process of carbon dating will damage the object claimed to be a shivling by Hindu petitioners found inside the Gyan Vapi mosque. The Muslim petitioners, however, claim that the alleged shivling is a fountain. The court will now be considering whether the evaluation of the object's age can be done through carbon dating safely, without causing damage to it, and hence asked ASI to clarify the same, while expressing displeasure over the 8 months delay in filing their response. The Goa bench of the Bombay High Court, comprising Justice M.S. Sonak, while quashing a transfer deed made by the brothers, transferring the family property without the consent of the sister, held that the daughter's right in the family property does not extinguish after father's demise, even if it is assumed that some dowry was provided to the daughters. The court said that the evidence on record shows that the joint family property was purported to be exclusively usurped by the brothers to exclude the sisters. Merely because one of the sisters deposed in favor of the brothers does not mean that the arrangement or oral partition was duly proved. There is no evidence about providing sufficient dowry to the daughters of the house. Rajasthan has become the first state in India to pass a law for protection of advocates. The bill, titled Rajasthan Advocates Protection Bill, aims to prevent advocates from being subjected to offences of assault, grievous hurt, criminal force, criminal intimidation and damage or loss to their property. The move comes after the murder of an advocate in broad daylight in the state and after strike by lawyers. That was all on today's legal news. Thank you and keep watching Verdictum, and subscribe to our channel and download the Verdictum app on iOS and Android to keep yourself updated with authentic legal news.